Welcome back to another video. Today we are in the Open Ultra League. Let's see what team we're going to be running today. Looks like we have the Shadow Dragonite with the Registeel and a Cresselia in the back here. So we got a Shadow in the front and two tanks in the back basically. We're going to see what they want to do here. We know that this Poliwrath does no ice moves. Which one does it be? It is the new Icy Wind, so we do show that correct move. We're going to be able to get to this Dragon Claw here. Right before they get to their next move, they decide to shield here. And unfortunately for us, we're going to double shield here, but we're going to win the lead at least. And so they decide to switch out, and we are able to switch into our Registeel to hard counter this Cresselia. So that's as good as it's going to get in that situation. We are going to go for the Zap Cannon here. It's good neutral damage with the potential to debuff. We do get the debuff on this Cresselia. So this Cresselia is going to lose even worse now. And we are possibly going to leave this matchup here with the move. And let's see if we can orchestrate that correctly. We'll go for another Zap Cannon here. Does another good amount of damage. And we get the double debuff. They switch out into their Skeledirge here. We are able to get to a Dragon Claw after farming just a little bit. This Dragon Claw does get the shield from our opponent. We survive the next Incinerate, forcing our opponent to throw a Disarming Voice here. And now we have a decision to make. Do we go back into the Registeel, which we have a little bit of energy of, or do we go into our Cresselia? So we go into the Registeel here. We know that we can tank one move. They don't have any fire moves here, we don't think. It ends up being the Shadow Ball, so we are going to be able to get this Zap Cannon. Does it take it out? It does, so that's great. And then we're going to go back into our Cresselia, farm down this Poliwrath, and that is GG's right there. So well played by us right there, figuring out that team. They ended up having the Cresselia, Poliwrath, and Skeledirge right there, and we were able to line up everything correctly with optimal timing. So next game here, we have the Greninja versus this Shadow Dragonite here. We're doing a ton of fast move damage. Look at that, already probably a quarter health done. We can survive the first one, so we don't have to shield that first one. Next one, we might have to consider shielding. We do get the farm down, so we win the lead. Expecting a counter to this Dragonite, but let's see what it ends up being. It isn't a hard counter, so we decide to stay in. They do catch a Dragon Claw from our Dragonite here. And we're going to farm up a little bit, try to catch a move here. No catch, but we don't have to worry about any of the moves coming from this Cresselia because, once again, it's a really good counter to this Cresselia. So they know that, and that is GG's. It would have been tough for them to win because we would have had the Cresselia possibly with two shields to take down that Giratina. And next game here, we have Defense Deoxys. This is going to be a little bit different, a little bit tougher. This looks like it's going to be a Psycho Boost and dip. Ends up being the Psycho Boost. They dip into the Greedent here. So we go into this Cresselia, and basically this is just going to be a meat shield. We're just going to try to take this Greninja down as low as possible because we want this Greedent to be a farm down opportunity. And let's see if we're going to be able to execute that. There is a case that you would want to use the Registeel as well. But let's see if this works out. We're going to go for this Moonblast. We don't get any debuffs, unfortunately. Oh, nice count by my opponent right there. Able to get to a move right when we get another Moonblast. Let's see what we go back in with. Do we go in with the Dragonite? We do go in the Dragonite. We build this Dragon Claw here to potentially take out this Greedent. Our opponent ends up coming in with their Defense Deoxys. We are able to get to another Dragon Claw before they get to another Psycho Boost. We're going to try to catch a Psycho Boost right here. No Psycho Boost caught, unfortunately. Expecting the Thunderbolt, so we do get the Thunderbolt out, and we are going to have to take down a Greninja with one shield. So this is going to be really tough. Ooh, and we actually get CAP tied right there, so they're going to have to shield. That's an easy shield for them. Next, we're going to have to think about potentially shielding or letting it go. We do shield. Ends up being the Hydro Cannon again. We're going to make sure we throw this Focus Blast on optimal timing. And we're definitely going to get another shield. Okay, our opponent ends up throwing the next move. It's only a Night Slash. Okay, so we do get the extra farm. We throw a Dragon Claw to take out this Deoxys. We're going to try to get to another move. Unfortunately, we are not able to. They already had another Night Slash available. Oh, and they get the attack boost, so they probably only have to go for Night Slash at this point. This Night Slash boosted is going to be able to take us out, and that is GG's. Man, that's a tough game right there, unfortunately, especially with that boost. Okay, next game, let's see what we find. The team is pretty solid. Obviously, there's some weaknesses to it. Greninja again in the front, which is a little bit better for us. Look at the fast move damage we've done. Already a quarter health done. We know we survived this Night Slash. We've had this situation in the past. We're gonna go for this Dragon Claw here. This Dragon Claw, I don't believe takes it out. It does take it out at that range. Ends up being the wall range, so we immediately switch into the Registeel. This Registeel is gonna have to consider shielding this Zap Cannon. Let's see what they do. They do shield it. We do get the debuff, so that is the best of both worlds right there. Our opponent is potentially going to throw a Earthquake. Ends up not being the Earthquake. That is a really high risk reward move right there. Now we know that they potentially could throw the Earthquake again, so we do show the correct Earthquake. So we are ahead of their energy count, and we are in a good position. Our opponent ends up believing that situation. We throw another Zap Cannon right at this Cresselia, and at this point we can use this Cresselia to take out this. At this point we can take out this Cresselia with our Registeel because we debuffed it, and this is a great matchup for us. So we're gonna throw another Zap Cannon here, and we're actually thinking about farming up to another Zap Cannon and then leaving this situation, save a Zap Cannon, and then switch into the Cresselia. They are throwing the Moonblast here. We're gonna farm up. We're waiting for them to throw a move. Let's see if we switch out of this situation. Ends up being the Grass Knot there. Yeah, we do save a move there, and this is all but GG's because Cresselia is fairly healthy, and we know that we can throw that Zap Cannon right back at that Cresselia for the win. Here, we're going to go for this Moonblast here to take out this Cresselia for sure. And then we're going to pressure this wall range to throw some energy. Once we get to a Grass Knot, it will for sure be in range of a Zap Cannon, and they actually end up throwing two Icicle Spears here. And they know that it's GG, so well done by us. Good games to our opponent right there. Next game, let's see if we can continue the streak here. Shadow Dragonite, very powerful lead if you can maintain the lead. Okay, we got the Shadow Dragonite versus the Skeledirge here. Want to make sure we throw on optimal timing. We let the first one go. I mean, we shield the first one. We let them use the move first. We're going to throw this Dragon Claw right before they get to another move. Let's see if they decide to shield or not. They don't shield, but we are able to get the farm down. Our opponent ends up having the Poliwrath in the back here. So Poliwrath in the back, not necessarily immediate worry. So we decide to stay in. We're going to get to another Dragon Claw here to do some chip damage. We are not going to switch out because we have the Cresselia in the back lurking. We're going to let them go. And ends up being the Icy Wind. So now we know it's Icy Wind, and now we have a Mirror Registeel one shield situation. They do have this slight advantage because they switched in first. So we know that we can tank this Focus Blast. We're going to be able to get to the Focus Blast here. But we both let it go, and now it becomes a decision-making game. Do we go for this shield here, or do we let it go? We decide to shield here because we know that Registeel is not that great, are really good against our Cresselia in the back, and so we know that they're going to take us out. However, we are going to be able to farm out some energy on our own Cresselia. We know that their energy dry, so we're going to farm up to a Grass Knot, throw this Grass Knot, and hopefully we can farm down is the idea. No farm down, but it looks like we're going to have to tank a Zap Cannon. Okay, this Zap Cannon doesn't debuff us, and we are able to get to another Grass Knot. Our opponent ends up leaving, and that is GG's. So check out this team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.